Hey guys, so the reviews I'm going to be doing today have a kind of theme to them. And that theme is both movies I'm going to be reviewing are both films from two directors that I really, really enjoy. And they're mainly action directors, but they are really good action directors, in my opinion. Um, the first movie I saw uh, today was Machete Kills. Before I get into Machete Kills, I feel like it's kind of necessary to give my thoughts on Machete, the first movie. Machete, I thought was a pretty good flick. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really silly and a lot of fun, and a lot of campiness about it. And it was Danny Trejo was really good in it. I thought it was really cool to finally see him get a big starring role like that. Um, and I only my only issue with the movie was they got too much into politics, the whole politics of immigration reform and everything like that. I felt like that movie didn't need that. It could have not had that, and the movie would have been fine. And it just felt like that was just tacked on at the last minute because of this basically came out about a couple months after, if I remember correctly, it came out a couple months after some Arizona laws, controversial Arizona laws that dealt with immigration reform. I forget what they said, but it was pretty controversial. But I remember that movie came out right after that, and you're like, that just felt like it was tacked on at the last minute, just so it could have some kind of message. But I also really like Robert Rodriguez. Like I said, Robert Rodriguez is one of my favorite action directors. He has made some really good action flicks over the last 20 years. From Dusk Till Dawn is one of my favorite films of all time. I love that movie. I can watch it any time and still laugh and have a good time watching it. I every time it's on TV, I stop what I'm doing and watch it. I love that movie. Plus, it's starring Tarantino, one of my favorite director of all time, Quentin Tarantino. I know he's made some disappointing movies over the last few years. I didn't love Planet Terror, but I thought I didn't hate it either. I also he's kind of made some really shitty kids movies over the last few years too. He's proven that he isn't very good at directing kids movies, but he's very good at directing action movies. And it looks like hopefully he might go back to just sticking to what he knows, and I'm hoping he does. But with Machete Kills, I was really looking forward to this because I figured, I like Machete enough that I thought this should be a good flick, good enough flick. The trailers looked funny. It looked really absurd, but I was like, this is a sequel to Machete, so what the hell do I expect? Machete had a lot of absurd moments, and that's what you expect from a movie like that. I mean, it's what was the tagline of the first one? Don't they mess with the wrong Mexican? I mean, and there's lines of dialogue like Machete don't tweet or no, Machete don't text. I mean, you can't take that shit seriously. And I figured this movie looks like it'll be fun. I had a whole list of actors that I kind of like. Some I was kind of wondering how they would do, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I was kind of looking forward to this. I was getting the trailers a lot for this movie over the past few months, and I was looking forward to it. And even though the reviews were not good, I was like, what the hell? I said this could just be a silly action movie, and I don't see myself really hating this movie. Well, I will say this movie was really disappointing. Really, really disappointing. I was really disappointed by this movie. There are things I like about it, but I don't recommend seeing this in the theater. I don't. It's not even close to being as good as the original. Even though I had issues with the original and its political message and stuff like that, the original is far superior in my opinion. Like I said, there were things I did like about it. Danny Trejo, again, is awesome. He he doesn't say much, but the looks on his faces say enough. And sometimes in a lot of scenes, and he's very funny. He's a very deadpan guy, and he comes off very funny with his kind of humor. I loved him in this movie. He made me laugh, even though, like I said, one of the most famous lines of the first one was "Machete, don't text." They nail you over the head with that line. Instead of having Machete, don't text, in this movie they have Machete, don't tweet. Machete, don't kill or get killed. Machete, don't, I don't know, just, there's nonstop. Okay, it was funny the first time, but not the 500th time. I mean, it gets a little ridiculous. I knew that they were going to have that. I saw in the trailer there was a line where he said, Machete, don't tweet. And I laughed at that. I was like, oh, what the hell, that's, playing homage to the original film, but they do it over and over again, and that gets annoying. And it's like yeah, that was one of my only issues with the characters. That it just basically he was just doing one-liners like that over and over again. I liked also surprisingly Sofia Vergara. I like she's not a bad actress. It's pretty damn good looking at that too. But she was very campy. I really enjoyed her character, how campy her character was. I felt that her character went nowhere because, literally, honestly, probably an hour into this movie, she disappears and never seen again. I don't know what the hell happened to her character. She didn't die, just disappeared. I don't know what the hell happened to her character. She was pretty fun. And she had, good lord, she has guns that are strapped to her boobs. And has a strap on with a gun. Basically has a strap on where it looks like she has a dick, basically. She has a gun placed where it looks like she has a dick. That's what I mean. But she's very over the top and very funny. I thought and Mel Gibson. I did enjoy Mel Gibson in this. I was looking forward to him as the villain a lot. I enjoyed him. He definitely kind of saved the latter half of the movie because I was starting to get bored. And when he popped up, I kind of all right, I like him, and I'm starting to like him in this. He has this weird obsession with Star Wars, which I'll also talk about that in a little bit. And he is kind of crazy, and when Mel Gibson's playing crazy, you can pretty much believe it. It's not hard to believe that Mel Gibson's playing crazy. I think half the time he's just playing himself. And by the way, I like Mel Gibson. I'm glad he got a role in a theatrical film. This is his first theatrical film in a long fucking time. And it sucks. He's been blacklisted a lot. I know he's a dick, but I still like the guy. I think he's a good actor. I thought he's going to be in the new Expendables 3, thank God. He's going to be the villain in that, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I thought he's fine in this. I like some of the silly, over-the-top action in this movie. The over-the-top action is fun in it. There's... three things that come to mind are really over the top and really just wow. One, there's a scene, I think if you've seen the Red Band trailer, where Machete takes a guy's intestines and pulls them all the way up to the helicopter blade, so it hooks on to one of the helicopter blades and sends the guy right into the helicopter blades, and it explodes. Body parts fly all over the place. There's another part where this is probably the part I was like, oh my god. There's another part where that was pretty, but it was memorable, where Mel Gibson had a gun called a molecule gun or something like that, and he said it turns people in stuff inside out or something like that. And so Machete freaking fires this thing, and these people just explode from inside out, and like all their guts and skeletons come flying out of them. And it's kind of pretty fucking awesome. And it's really gory. That's one of the problems I had also, is that the CGI, there was a lot of CGI blood and it looked fake some of the times, and it kind of looked terrible. Also, another good fucking one that probably took the cake was, there's a part where Michelle Rodriguez's character gets her other eye shot out. If you've seen the first one, she only has one eye, because she has an eye patch on the other one, and she gets that eye, her good eye, shot out. So she's blind, and she fights somebody, kills somebody while she's blind. Apparently, this movie took inspiration from Book of Eli. I just spoiled that movie if you haven't seen that. That you know what? I'm fine with that. The Book of Eli ending. Book of Eli ending was bullshit. I still hate that ending. But at least they didn't try to say, "Oh, it was for the power of God that she was able to kill somebody." God, that's so stupid. Also, what was the other good thing that I kind of liked about it? Damn it. Oh, God. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I guess, well, you know what? Screw it. It'll come back to me. I guess it's time to talk about what I hated about this movie. And there's one thing that ruined this movie for me, that made it from okay to really freaking disappointing. And that's the fact that this movie is basically an hour and 40-minute commercial for the third Machete movie. That's it. There's no point for this freaking movie to exist. It's dumb as hell, and it has no payoff, or like the payoff, even the payoff to the end of this movie, because the whole movie revolves Mel Gibson and this nuclear bomb that he has, and the payoff to that just goes nowhere, and it's just fucking pointless. Because, alright, the third movie, they set up the third movie before the movie even actually starts. Because they show you a fake trailer, like they start the movie by showing you a fake trailer of the third Machete movie, which is Machete Kills Again in Space. In space, I'm not joking. So this whole movie is, the whole purpose of this whole second movie is to set up how Machete goes into space. That's it. There's no purpose for this whole movie. Absolutely whatsoever. This felt like a commercial, an hour and 40-minute commercial for the third movie. That bothered the shit out of me. Like, I couldn't get over it, like, by the end of it. I'm like, really? Even the trailer, you don't need, like, okay, when they made Jason X, they put him in space. They didn't really give us an explanation why he was in space. He was just there. It's just absurd as it is that he's in space, so they just did that. Jason X is a terrible fucking movie, but I enjoy it still. It's a laughably bad movie. You don't need to set up why Machete's in space. You can just make a third movie and he's in space for some reason. You don't need to spend a whole hour and 40 minutes to explain why he went into space. Stupid as hell. And it makes the whole movie pointless. Like, the whole plot of this movie is just freaking pointless. Because it's just to get to the point that Machete... Because literally the movie ends with Machete going in space. That's it. It's like there's no freaking point for this movie to exist. And now I remember, before I forget, now I'm kind of changing subjects, but my bad. I do remember the other thing I liked about this movie. The other thing I liked about this movie, that was kind of unpredictable. And that some of the characters that you thought was going to live throughout this movie do not live whatsoever. Great example, and I'm spoiling this a little bit. In the first 5 minutes, Jessica Alba gets killed. No joke. She gets shot right in the head by Mel Gibson. And I didn't see that coming. I didn't realize that I kind of forgot that she didn't have starring Bill in this movie. Um, that was kind of interesting. They killed her off, and I know a lot of people hated her in the first one, and that was one of the reasons why they hated her in this one. Or they hated one of the things that people hated about the first one was Jessica Alba. I didn't like her. I don't think she's a very good actress. She's hot as hell, but she's not a very good actress. But I didn't hate her in the first one. But I can understand why people hated her and didn't like her in that one. But she didn't bother me as much. But yeah, if you didn't like her in the first one, don't have to worry. She's only in the movie this one 5 minutes. And there's a lot of other characters that they introduced in this movie. You think, oh, this character is going to be a main character, and then they die very quickly. You're like, okay, I guess not. It's like, all right, I like that. It was kind of unpredictable who the hell was going to live, and something other than Michelle Rodriguez getting her eye shot out, something else happens to her that kind of is weird and unpredictable. But anyways, back to what I hated. That it's basically, yeah, like I said, it's just a commercial for Machete Goes into Space, and like I said, the payoff with the nuclear bomb is completely stupid, really, really stupid, and it was just like it felt like that was just that ending was with the payoff to the nuclear bomb was felt just rushed so they could go have a reason to send Machete into space. It was really stupid. Also, this movie rips off stuff from Star Wars for some reasons. I don't know why. Like, Mel Gibson has like a vehicle that's similar to one of the vehicles in Star Wars. If something happens to Michelle Rodriguez that is similar to what happens to a character in Star Wars. I don't know why. It was really weird. It wasn't a major complaint, but I was like, what the hell was that? I mean, and it's obvious that Machete Kills Again is going to be a somewhat tribute to, like a Grindhouse-esque tribute to Star Wars, with Machete having a lightsaber that's in the shape of a machete. I'm not joking. And speaking of that fake trailer, it wasn't very good. I didn't laugh that much at it. It was just kind of stupid, and it's like, you're setting up a movie that doesn't look that great in the first place. Honestly, I would laugh my ass off. This movie makes no money whatsoever. I think I was the only other person in this theater, and I think maybe other person was in this theater except me. And if this movie fails, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. They set this whole, this whole movie was pointless because it would have been pointless because they might not be able to make the next one. And if they don't make the next one, it's kind of freaking pointless that this movie existed. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I gotta talk about Machete Kills. I gotta get off here real quick. I will be back a little bit later with my second review, but I don't recommend Machete Kills. I maybe rent it for $1 at Redbox. That's it. It's not very good. It's not worth $7.50 or $10 that you have to pay. Why pay $10 to go see a basically an hour and 40-minute commercial for Machete, or the next Machete film, which is in space? It's really stupid. Yeah, like I said, just skip it, and I'll be back a little bit later with my second review, which it is a lot better. The movie, let's just say, I was just going a little spoiler for my next review, but that movie was a lot better.